You ready?
Showtime.
On May 3rd, summer starts with The Fall Guy.
Let's do it later.
Let's drink a spicy margarita.
Make some bad decisions.
Yes!
Audiences are falling in love with the most entertaining film of the year.
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy?
Fall Guy.
That's what the poster said.
See Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt in the movie critics say exists to make you happy.
Trying to make it out?
Nope.
Because I don't either. It's not what I'm into right now.
What are you into?
Talking.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy. Only in theaters May 3rd. Rated PG-13.
Hey there. Did you know Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices? And when you download the Kroger app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Kroger today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And welcome to another episode of Stat Me Up for Anfield Index. Dear God, ladies and gentlemen, it's never quiet with Liverpool, is it? On the pitch, they're back to winning ways. They're even scoring from open play against Fulham. So we've got plenty of things to talk about. We've got a Merseyside derby coming up in around 48 hours to talk about. We've even got an early kickoff on Saturday. So you think that would dominate matters. However, in the last few hours, it's gone utterly mental off the pitch with things around the managers, head coach, anything you wish to describe around that top of the tree. And that's where we'll open with. But before we get into it, I'll greet him as always, everyone's favourite Hungarian hipster, the renowned and the respected Ben Bocksak. Ben, how are we?
Yeah, it's good to be on. I think it's an exciting time to talk about Liverpool. You know, we're still in and around the top of the table, and we've got a new manager coming in, and I think there's going to be exciting changes. And I trust Edwards to get the right man, and we'll discuss a little bit about what's going on. I'm not worried, like a lot of Liverpool fans are having. I think a few people anyway are having some meltdown on social media, but I'm not worried at all.
Fair enough, and that seems the perfect place to start, because just in case you have been living under a rock in the last hour, Liverpool fans, that, yeah, the news has come. It starts with a David Ornstein bomb, doesn't it, as they say, Ben, that West Ham are looking at Ruben Amorim, and the key tagline in that tweet at the bottom was, Liverpool seems unlikely for Amorim. That then puts a chain of events that Arne Slot, the Feyenoord manager, his odds have come right down 3-1. Quite a few bookies have him as now. And there's obviously names floating out there, people talking about Jose. But the other thing and I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname, but the Portuguese journalist, let's call it Pedro S, we'll call him that, just as we know him inside out, who's been tweeting about Amorim inside out, has now in the last hour people tweeted to say, Ruben Amorim is on a private flight to London, isn't he, to meet West Ham and Liverpool officials. And there's a picture of Ruben Amorim next to what looks like a private jet. I don't have a video, and obviously, I think as the kids say, It's credibility's been staked as all or nothing on that one, realistically, hasn't it? For Pedro S, you will make your own judgments. I mean, Christ, Ben, we've messaged each other approximately 67,000 times in the last hour just around this manager situation and changing our running order. I mean,
so don't let geo-restrictions bench you this season. Visit nordvpn.com/Anfield Index and make sure that you're in the game, no matter when or where it's being played. Remember, it's not just sports, it's your all-access pass to binge-worthy TV shows and blockbuster movies from all around the globe. NordVPN literally unlocks the world for you and keeps you safe from the world. So don't miss out. Head over to nordvpn.com/Anfield Index and let the fun and games begin.
Yeah, there was a few questioning, I think it's fair to say, Jurgen Klopp's decisions, judging by a scroll of social media just before kick-off. And I think you're right. First half, there was a little bit of, it wasn't brilliant, let's put it that way. A few were struggling. And I think, funnily enough, just as Gravenberch scores, there was a few probably had him and maybe others thinking substitution time. But yeah, the game did tend to pivot on that, and we go on to 3-1. I mean, stats-wise, as we always ask, anyone shine at all yesterday? I can think who you're going to say, but I don't want to judge.
I mean, I think for me, Cody Gakpo was sort of the standout performer. I think because of Trent's sort of outstanding goal, he got the man of the match on Sky, didn't he? But I thought maybe Gakpo was robbed a little bit. I mean, he won the most duels, created the most chances, made the most recoveries, and completed the most dribbles for Liverpool. And on top of that, got a really nice assist with a really nice pass to Diego Jota for his goal. So, I thought it was really good. And he's someone who I thought has been quite good in cameos and stuff recently. I think probably playing on the left wing suits him more than in those central roles, and definitely compared to playing in midfield. So I think that could be his future position going forward. I mean, he doesn't have it easy because you've got Jota who can play, and Luis Diaz as well, so he's definitely got competition in that role. But based on his performance on Sunday, I thought he deserves another look in, and I liked what I saw from him.
Yeah, left wing, where he plays for the Dutch national team often as well, did seem to suit him. It will be interesting to see what happens with him. But yeah, very much in keeping with a few recent performances, it's important to say as well, goods from Cody Gakpo. The other thing that, obviously, we mentioned it at the top of the show, 2 goals from open play, which maybe it seems dramatic, but it does feel like it's a long time since that's happened. I mean, am I exaggerating there, or are the stats as bad almost as it feels it's been recently?
I mean, I think Liverpool accumulated over 10 XG from open play since we last scored a goal from open play. So maybe it's not that much of an exaggeration, or it has been pretty sort of dire, starting from the United game at Old Trafford, and then the Crystal Palace one. Less so the Atalanta game, I would say. Those were, it was a sort of instance where Liverpool just didn't play well and didn't create anything either. But against Palace, it was close to 3 XG in that game, and all from open play, and Liverpool failed to put any away. So to get,
it is a bit interesting to see, throwback being the right word. And I suppose it'll be interesting. Cody Gakpo has been the theme of this podcast, it's right to say. Probably the final questions I'll ask with the derby around the corner. You said Salah is going to start. Will Cody Gakpo be one of the others in the forward line? If so, where, and who will fill that final shirt, or who will be the other 2 that line up with Mo Salah? What are you going for?
I think I'm probably going Jota, and then like I mentioned, I think Diaz is quite useful to play against Everton and to play against the low block, because he is one of the few players in that Liverpool squad who's got that ability to take players on 1 versus 1. And when you take players on 1-on-1 and you beat a couple of players, you can open up space and create opportunities for Liverpool against these sort of deep lying defences. So for me, I think Diaz deserves a start, and I think I would go with him, and then obviously Gakpo on the bench, and maybe use Gakpo against West Ham, given the fact that he has scored there and he is also in good form. So I'd have no qualms over starting him in the London Stadium.
Will be interesting. I mean, the key theme has been, especially as you mentioned, that game against Fulham, rotation. It wouldn't surprise you again if you saw a raft of changes with the likes of McAllister coming back, maybe Szoboszlai, Jones. Yeah, Salah's going to come back in. It will be interesting to see on the forward line. But anyone who do start or are on the bench, probably it's better to say, you're probably thinking they'll be getting some starting minutes at West Ham at the London Stadium. Listen, it will be fascinating to say. Final prediction from you, Ben. By the end of this week, and when I say the end of this week, I'm talking after Liverpool have played West Ham, do you think we'll get maximum points and still be in the title race?
Well, I'm always an optimist, and yeah, I think you've got to believe in it. There's no point supporting Liverpool or watching Liverpool and not believing that we can do it. I believe we can do it. I believe we've got enough quality in the squad to beat both teams, and I think this title race is still not out of Liverpool's hands. There are both Man City and Arsenal have tough fixtures and they can drop points, and Liverpool just got to concentrate on themselves. And I think this might be a bold prediction, but I think if Liverpool win the last 5 games, I think they win the league. I genuinely do believe that. So I'm staying optimistic, and I think we can do it.
Fingers crossed that prediction wholeheartedly becomes correct. But we'll keep an eye out, ladies and gents. We won't have long to wait for a Merseyside derby. We won't have long to wait before we're going to the Olympic Stadium. And by the sounds of it, we won't have too long to wait for managerial developments, whether they are confirmed, denied, or dismissed, whatever it may be. But all that leaves me to say as ever is, Ben, thanks for the time. Thanks for the insight. Much appreciated, pal.
Yeah, enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get some clarity soon on this new manager. I think, given how things are going, it's surely now, imminent in terms of having some sort of clarity.
Sports Social Podcast Network.